Welcome to the Peer Support Program, part of the Access Employee Assistance Program, also known as Access EAP. This program was developed to assist law enforcement and their families through a confidential, peer-based employee assistance program, addressing on-the-job issues and everyday life problems. Today, we'll hear firsthand from officers sharing details of the program, how it has helped them, and how it can help you. For more than 25 years, the Access EAP Peer Support Program has supported departments by assisting their program members and families with work, personal issues, post-traumatic stress, burnout, mental health, substance use disorder and misuse, or circumstances that can have an impact on their job and personal life.
Back in 2008, I was involved in a major incident at work, and I didn't know it at the time, but I had PTSD from the incident. It affected me majorly on specific calls, and then in 2009, my brother was killed. So it compounded, and I never sought help because who helps the helpers?
If my eyes hadn't been opened to truly how many people need our help, I'd still be blinded. I still wouldn't see it. And I can only hope that more people like me get that training, and more people like me develop relationships and trust, so that when those people are leaving, they know where to go for help.
The program is based on 3 foundational principles to achieve success for all parties involved. The first and core foundational principle is confidentiality.
Probably the biggest thing that reason we've been very successful is the confidentiality. Different officers have come to us, and no one knows. They know officers have come to us, or they think they know officers have come to us to get that help, but they don't know because of the confidentiality. We're in a group of just standing around talking, and someone may say, oh, you got to go to EAP training again. You're talking that voodoo stuff you guys talk. No one wants to hear that. And, an officer may step up and say, hey, I'm not afraid to admit, I was down in the dumps. I got guidance. I feel so much better. And other officers I've seen, they've looked at them kind of like, you went to talk to someone.
The second foundational principle is connection.
Cops are very unwilling to talk to people anyway. It's just by the nature of the beast, we're unwilling to discuss our feelings. With that said, cops are also very unwilling to talk to people that are not cops. So having that rapport from the get-go, so crucial.
We always talk about the brotherhood of being police officers. This is one of the ways that we take care of each other. And the most important thing, and we've already stressed this, is 100% confidential.
The third of these foundational principles is care.
I think the program makes the police department, the force, stronger because you're only as strong as your weakest link. When I went to my chief at Swadera Police Department and asked him to continue being a peer, and he showed interest in the program for our department itself, it was very important to me at the time, and still obviously, that they were supportive of this. It's really important to have an administration that supports you individually, way down to the baseline patrol officers. We all feel it.
The Access EAP Peer Support Program is comprised of peers who volunteer their time to help law enforcement, as well as their families in need of assistance.
This program isn't just for the officers of Dauphin County and the Access EAP program. Family members have the ability to reach out for help on their own, for their officer, for other family members. They can contact a peer, they can contact the program directly for whatever help they need.
Peers are available anytime, 24 hours, 7 days a week. Now that you have a basic understanding of the program, let's take a closer look at why someone becomes a peer.
I saw a hole in our system. We talk about our physical fitness, we talk about our gear, we talk about our training, we talk about our equipment. But one thing we never talk about as officers really one thing we never talk about as human beings is our mental fitness and our mental well-being, and our support for each other. And I think as a profession and as a species, we've lost our perspective on being there for one another and talking about things that really truly matter. Everybody wants to go to the doctors when they're not feeling good, talk about a wellness visit, the mile markers when you're 40 and 50 and which doctors you see. And I've never heard a single person talk about, maybe I should go to a therapist, or maybe I should talk to somebody about some of the things that are going through my mind or anything like that. So I think there's a giant hole. And one of the reasons I became a part of this program was to try and fill that hole where I know it exists, because if we ignore it, it doesn't change anything. So I thought maybe I could make a difference and try and bring that to light for my peers and quite frankly, even my friends outside of this profession.
Prior to being accepted as a peer, all peers undergo an extensive selection process, including an interview and approval by their supervisor. All peers initially receive 48 hours of training, which includes critical incident stress management training in the first year, and a minimum of 8 hours training annually as mandated by law.
First of all, when someone has the confidence to come to you, it makes you feel good. But then when you see that end result of them starting out at a low point, and you get them to the high point, and you see the smile on their face, the smile on the face of their families, it just makes you feel really, really good inside.
The Access EAP Peer Support Program consists of police who are highly trained in the field of peer support. Offering peer support is a pathway to help others who are often in that role. The program provides a personal level of connection by sharing similar life experiences and belief in the program.
I don't get any extra benefits at work for this. I do this for my own personal benefit. The peer that comes back to you that sought help, the peer that comes back to you that just wanted to talk and says thank you, that is the greatest accomplishment for me in this program, that they are standing in front of me saying thank you.
As stated before, confidentiality is the foundation of the program. Laws passed in Pennsylvania were instituted to ensure the confidentiality between law enforcement officers and a qualified law enforcement peer support officer. However, there are situations in which confidentiality cannot be maintained.
In 2010, new laws were passed in Pennsylvania that ensure confidential information from any law enforcement officer shared with a qualified law enforcement peer support member may not be disclosed in any legal proceeding, trial, or investigation before any government unit without the individual's consent. There are some situations where confidentiality cannot be maintained. If during a peer session, the individual seeking services reveals they pose a clear and present danger to themselves or to others, then the peer must report these incidents to the appropriate authority.
If you need help or you want to reach out to someone in every participating department's locker room, and male or female, or in the briefing room, we usually give each department 3 or 4 posters. On that poster are different officers you can reach. It has their cell phone number, their duty station number, an email, and also the 1-800 hotline for Access EAP. Someone's available at all times to talk to.
A peer's main function is to listen and, if needed, refer the individual to clinical providers and other resources. If additional assistance is necessary, the peer will make a recommendation for the individual to contact Access Employee Assistance Program staff. Employee Assistance Program staff will complete a brief intake process to determine the appropriate credentialed providers within the Access provider network. Each individual is matched with a provider who accepts their individual healthcare plan. Each individual will receive a minimum of 3 free visits annually. A case manager provides coordination and support until the completion of your EAP visit. The Access EAP Peer Support Program is the ideal program for officers and their families. It provides them with the availability of professionally trained, confidential resources within their community. A confidential hotline is available 24 hours, 7 days a week, staffed by Access EAP personnel. To learn more about this program and how it can assist if needed, please reach out to us by phone at 1-800-248-1688.